If you've ever felt like starting over again means you're failing or that you are doing so much just to keep up and you are getting burnt out, this episode is for you. This episode is not here to teach you anything. This episode is to acknowledge where you're at, where I'm at. And throughout this episode, throughout me sharing what's currently going on in my world and what I'm working through, might inspire you or spark something in your process. So welcome to the episode, everybody. Okay, so I almost didn't record this episode because I am in the shit. I'm in the muck. I'm in the joy and the crying and the frustration and the anger and the acknowledging some suppressed grief, acknowledging some repressed resentment. And I have realized how deeply I have tied my ability to receive to performance and how unsafe my nervous system feels when I'm asking for softness and ease in my world. My identity that I am shifting into, that of ease and receiving and more of a feminine energy flow, more of ask and you shall receive, more of I don't have to prove myself in order to receive anything, is in direct conflict with the subconscious identity that I am currently operating at, which deems all of that as super unsafe, uncomfortable, going to just get her ass handed to her, is resisting that completely. And this shows up in a few different ways. But this episode is, I just want to share with you guys what is coming up, what is currently working through, and try to keep it short and simple. I have notes in front of me, but like I just said, I've done this. This is my 15th take trying to get this out. Because what I also realized was I had shifted my YouTube channel into teach mode so I could like read off my notes and like get it perfect, which I can't remember if I said this at the beginning of this take, but is not in alignment with who I am from an energy perspective or what my purpose is in life and why I even wanted to start this podcast or this YouTube channel again. So we are shifting some things. We are stripping some things back. We are getting back in alignment, and it's messy. Like I said, even this morning, I was in tears working through some stuff. Yesterday, I barely touched work because I was just processing a lot of money blocks and memories that were coming up where I'm like, oh shit, no wonder I cannot just relax. Maybe you can relate to craving a gentle feminine flow like I am. Maybe you can relate to wanting to unravel your money blocks and really shift into an identity that is of abundance, is of thriving, is of ease, is of receiving regardless of what you are doing, but yet you find yourself stuck in overdrive and push energy, or you find yourself really coming up to meet your imposter syndrome because you're in a process and you don't feel like you're worthy of receiving because you're in a process. So something that I am really shifting into is that I'm safe to be in process and still be magnetic. And I'm safe to be in process and still receive, still support clients, still create, and have my attunement of my frequency be a magnet for my life. Like I'm safe to do that even in process. And if you need to steal that, steal it, bring it into your own mantra practice, whatever it is. Before we get even further into this episode, I do want to acknowledge and let you know that I'm opening Sunday, July 13th. So depending on when you're listening to this, it might have already been opened or it's opening, whatever it is, my Sunday sessions. This is what, while I was going through this process, something dropped in where it was like, you need to create space for you to guide yourself through a meditation that is all about recalibrating, refocusing, and letting shit go. You need to carve out a weekly practice for yourself again, something that I had gotten off track with. So I created Sunday sessions and now I'm opening it to the world. So if you feel called to take time for yourself every week to recalibrate and let things go, and you love visual body-based guided meditations, I love doing this. I love receiving these. I invite you to Sunday sessions. Like I said, we launch on July 13th, so it could be open by the time you're listening to this. Your first Sunday is free regardless of when you sign up, and recordings are available to members. But this is a time where you get to let it all go. And you don't have to fix anything. You just get to be present with yourself, what's coming up, release it all, and recalibrate, recenter, refocus, realign. So I invite you into that. If that's something you're feeling called to, come on in. It is open for you. You can be any person. Normally I only work with women, but I know men are out there too. So if you feel called to my energy, come on into the membership, people. Come on into the Sunday sessions. Okay, let's continue on with this session or this episode. So what is currently going on in my world? Why am I even recording this? Well, some things I've become aware about in my own world over the last few weeks is this might actually resonate with you, is comparison mode and some interesting thoughts. So I have been comparing myself to other business owners, other healers, other people on Facebook and Instagram, and really giving myself a hard time for if I'm not linear, then I'm not valuable. And I've had thoughts that if I don't do step by steps, then people won't trust me. And if I don't watch or if I don't match what's working in other people's businesses, then I'm going to miss the mark and not be successful. Which is very interesting because when I look back at who I was as a dance teacher, I didn't give a fuck if kids learned how to dance from me. I gave all the shits in the world if they left my room feeling better about themselves. If they understood more about how they move through space, and if they started to embody the tools that I was teaching them, not from a how-to perspective, but a bring it into your world, test it out. How does it feel? Can you create more space? Do you feel good about yourself? What can you let go of? How can we interact with each other? How can we be in communion with all the things going on in space and be centered in our body while we're dancing? That was really important to me. I could care less if they did a tendu perfectly or if their arabesque was the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen. If your arabesque made me go, oh, like actually move in my body, that was what I was focused on. So I realized over the past year how the past 3 years, I've been trying to rebuild my business over and over and over again. And I've been trying to match it to how other people have done business. And it has consistently missed the mark because guess what? It is not aligned with who I am and the energy that I be. And when I talk about energy that I be, I mean it from a various different points, but I really resonate with like a human design perspective, and I'm a manifestor, and we have a very particular energy. And how-tos are like not our thing. We're more like, let me insert this perspective. Let me change this up. Have you thought about it this way? Let me stir the pot. Let me inspire. Let me bring a vision in and then puke it up to you, and then you run with it. Like that's our energy. I am in 200% on a project, and then oh my God, I just need space. I just need not to think about anything. But I have been operating in a go, 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 do. Follow this formula. Even though you want to fucking chuck the formula out, follow it, stick with it, be consistent, do the things. And that has made me over the past few months very frustrated and angry and have had lots of tears. And I didn't even want to make this episode. I wanted to burn this whole channel down. But I realized, no, we can shift here. We can change here. We can realign here. And we can show up in this space differently. And that means not weekly, actually. We are going down to 2 episodes a month, guys. But what else have I realized? I wrote some notes here. Saying all this is super vulnerable for me, and it's making me very uncomfortable. But I know that sharing what I'm going through is part of my process. So we're just going to run with it. And a big question that's kind of come up lately is like, is it safe for me to be in my format, to be in my energy without mimicking other people? And mimicking, a lot of us don't even realize we're doing it because it is something that we have done from the get-go. We have learned to mimic reactions. How do you greet somebody? We've learned everything that we've learned by the time we're 5, how to be in our life from a subconscious level, from an observatory level. So when we're an adult and we're working through this unraveling, it can be a bit disorientating to our nervous system because we are asking ourselves to trust something that we might not have mimicked as a young kid. So there's no ingrained, deeply subconscious point of reference for that. So we are having to disconnect and recalibrate the energy around it and make space for something new to show up, for you to become something that you might not necessarily have ingrained in you. And that's where people are like, go search for expanders, go search for people who have what you're asking for, so that your subconscious mind starts to accept it as truth and reality for you, so that you can start feeling it within first and then experiencing it without. But I didn't even know until recently that I really felt unsafe, and my nervous system has rejected what I've desired because my childhood, I've observed the opposite. So if I want ease in my life, if I want to do less and make more, if I want to show up in my energy, my nervous system completely freaks the fuck out. Then it kicks in overdrive. It kicks in doing more. It kicks in trying to earn and prove what I'm doing so that I can receive, aka earn my keep, earn what I'm wanting, because that's what my subconscious knows. And when I'm asking for something different to show up and not acknowledge where it's currently sitting, like I have been recently, it gets frustrating because I know I'm not creating what I want to create because I've got a conflict within. So another thing that I am leaning into is my human design and actually getting really comfortable with my design, with my format, if you will, with my energy signature. And that is of a manifestor, and how much that actually bumps up against the world, because the manifestor energy is very closed. But when you're a manifestor that has grown up like I have, where you have to fend for yourself, you gotta do it alone. And this isn't to say that like my mother didn't give me like a beautiful life and was, always there as much as she could be. But what I observed, what I learned through observation as a child, was that I had to earn my keep. I had to work harder. I wasn't ever doing enough. I was a burden. Not that anyone told me that out loud, but I've definitely internalized through observation of how people were being treated that my asks, my desires, my specificity was too much. And here I am as an adult, as a 36-year-old woman who helps women release their emotional baggage. I'm holding on to so much and burden, and my life for the past 3 years has really triggered my nervous system, and I was completely unaware of how much I have kind of like glossed over in this 3-year process. I won't go into the details there because it's going to make me cry because it's very raw right now in my world. This conditioning of doing more, of just do it again, do it more, create more, is a response to, like I was mentioning, that nervous system response of not feeling like enough. But when you pair that with a manifestor, I can get shit done faster than most people that I know. I can accomplish so much in a day, more than anybody I know in my life. And it kind of boggles their mind, like, how the fuck did you do all that? Well, pair it with an overdrive nervous system that thinks she has to do more, with a manifestor 200 energy when we can just go in. It can do a lot, but it's in detriment. It actually works against us in the long run, because the manifestor also needs so much space. She needs to relax. She needs time. I will go into a project and I will complete it, but then I want to like let it go. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to continue being consistent with it. Like I went in, I did my part. Now it's your turn to do your part, right? So when you pair all that with a nervous system that is just on overdrive and hypervigilance and thinking you're not doing enough, you will drive that so hard, but it burns you out so fast. And I become very resentful. I become very angry. I become very frustrated. And I'm so tired of it. Like, tired. I'm going into the second half of 2025 and I am so burnt out. I am rocking my nervous system on daily. I am scared that I'm not going to be able to hit the basic goals for 2025, that I will not be able to provide for myself, that I will not be able to look at myself at the end of the year and be proud of what I did this year. So we are needing to change some shit up. And I have done this episode. This is my 16th take, I think maybe 18th take. And I'm not going to stop. We're going to work through this episode with the tears. If I want to acknowledge that no matter where you are, you haven't fucked it up. And it is a very beautiful thing to work through your shit, to let it go so you can create space and have access to more of what you want in life. It's a beautiful, messy process. And we are currently in the mess right now. I have all these notes, but I can't follow them worth shit. Another thing I'm leaning into right now is actually learning to trust my yeses and no again. When I'm in work with clients, my yes and no's, my intuition, so fast, I'm following it. I love it. When I'm in dance creative back in the day, following those yes, no's, talking to the creations, really tuning in, super simple. Over the past 3 years, my life, my business, I've just said yes to so many things because I'm in overdrive. I'm in freak out mode. I'm trying to survive. Those yeses are, some of my yeses have actually been some no's. And one of the suggestions I was given, say no more often so that the yeses have space to come about. So we're leaning into no's. It's not perfect. There are things that I'd like to say no to, but currently I kind of have to say yes to them because I don't have the finances to like offload them. So even though I want to say no to things, I'm saying, okay, it's a yes right now, but it is a clear no. So I'm acknowledging that it's a no, and we're going to understand this process more and more so that I do know what I require in order to offload it. For an example, like working in the business. Saying no to things that I would say yes to also means like, I'm going to say no to it right now. I'm going to put it on the back burner and I'm going to come to it if and when I'm ready to come to it. Saying no means just asking myself yes, no questions that are like really simple and there's no weight attached to them, like chicken or salmon, this shirt or that shirt, chai or latte today, like this cafe or that cafe, like walk at 2 or walk at 6, gym today or mat flow, like very unweighted yes nos, just to get back that connection to my own self that has just been on overdrive yes because we think we have to do it all. What's also coming up is this realization that I want to be so much more relaxed in my life. I want to be so much more supported by the people around me. I want to receive even when I'm not showing up. And I realized how much in conflict that was because I am an overdrive. So here I am asking for something, but my actions are in like not in integrity of that. And that's because my nervous system freaks out when I want to relax because she was taught at a very young age by observation of watching people and how they treat themselves and how people treat them is that if you relax, you're doing something wrong. If you relax, you aren't actually going to receive what you want. You don't get what you want if you relax. So understanding that there's a really deep ingrained idea that you're asking for relaxedness, but that 100% triggers your nervous system. So we need to work on creating safe environments where she is safe to relax, where she's going to get centered with that and start teaching herself that she is safe to relax so that when she does relax, things will show up in her life. So we are going through that process. I don't know how that's going to translate. I don't know when I'm going to like flip the switch. We are going through it currently, but just that acknowledgement of like, here's two examples of like where that root stems from. And this is, please, if my parents are watching this, this is not a bad reflection on you. You were doing what you did with the tools that you have, and I love you all for it. But as a 5-year-old and a 16-year-old, we internalize shit that you have no idea we're internalizing, or you were even aware of that we were listening. So first one is I was less than 5 years old, sitting at the top of the stairs with my older sister, watching my father lose his shit on my mom for doing absolutely nothing. They fought a lot. Like my whole childhood was fighting. And if we didn't do what my father liked, we got like reprimanded for it. But I watched my mom do absolutely nothing. And my father is losing his shit, punching a hand through the chair. And that little version of me learned through observation, this is what I keep saying, that when you don't do anything, you get in trouble. So obviously, I'm going to internalize that and do everything I possibly can so that I don't get in trouble. But here's the funny thing. I'm so burnt out, I don't want to do anything. And I'm going to self-punish myself. I'm going to self-punish myself. Yeah, that's it. And create scenarios that give me nothing. And then wonder why that's happening. Second root is I watched or listened. 16-year-old self staring at the ceiling in my basement, listening to my stepfather yell at my mother for if she doesn't do more, she's not doing enough, then why doesn't he just kick us out right now? So 16-year-old self internalizes that and goes, shit, I have got to earn, I have got to make somebody see me with such value that they're not going to kick me out of my home. And they're not going to hold things over my head. And if I don't do enough, then I'm going to be in deep shit, right? Pair that with the 5-year-old self. If you don't do anything, you're going to get reprimanded. And if you aren't doing enough, then your whole home is being threatened right now. So all of this, needless to say, is coming up in my world because I've got some really big shit to work through. And it's also meeting me with imposter syndrome because who am I to help other women release their shit if I haven't released all my shit? But guess what? I have to tell myself, you know what? We all have our levels. We all do our part. We all are facilitating and supporting each other along the journey. And I've done so much to get to this point where now I'm able to and open to actually looking at these really deeper ingrained patterns and subconscious programming. Because the work that I've done in the last 7 years has brought me to be able to access this now. So I have to thank myself. In this moment, I have to remember, you have to remember, right? That it's a layer at a time. It's an access point at access point. It's the next level. It's the next unraveling. And it's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with you. So also what this whole process has asked me to do is actually change my business up. Actually get back to some basics to not, like I said, not say yes to everything, but understand what I'm actually a yes for. Trying to fit myself into the teaching box and the how-to box is just going to make me so mad and not be in my joy, and I'm fucking tired of not being in my joy. So we're changing shit up. And if you like it, let me know. Thumbs up here. Give me some love. We're also changing from creating out of urgency. This makes me want to crawl out of my skin a little bit because it really triggers my nervous system because my life is not calm right now. But we're creating out of space, creating out of frequency, and creating out of relaxed state of being, like letting go of urgency, letting go of push mode. We are letting that go. And it's uncomfortable. This also discovering of bringing back also just more simple things of how people can work with me, how I'm like offering my things. So like very small container for one-on-one people, doing my weekly meditations, like very simple ways, but also bringing back in-person events and connection points because I miss being in that interaction with human beings. So I gain so much energy from being in relation and communion with people, in working with the energy in the body, in the room. It's such a different energy, and I'm missing that. And acknowledging that I'm missing it will help me create it in my life. Instead of just ignoring it or being like, but you're online, you're traveling. Also, stop traveling. Stop house sitting. I've been requested 4 times in the last month to take up another house sitting job. And I'm like, no, I am done. I want to go back to my friends. I want to be in a calm environment. I want to be in a home that I can set up. You guys, the amount of homes that I've reconfigured and kitchens I've reorganized to only have to reset them the way that the owner left them is exhausting. And as much as I've loved this experience, it has put me into more of overdrive and hypervigilance and stress and survival mode because my nervous system, my deep desire is to have a home that's grounded, that's my space, that is supports my energy, that lets me relax into it. And not having that has been a very big lesson in how much I actually want that, which goes back to, do I actually believe I deserve what I actually want? And it's embarrassing to say that oftentimes I don't think I deserve what I want. Go figure, right? I just told you that I learned to not actually want what I want because I didn't think I could get it. So we're learning. And acknowledging is the first step to everything. Acknowledging how much grief I have for the life that I almost had. 3 years ago, I stepped into a life where I was like, fucking finally, Keisha, you can relax, you can breathe, you're going to be supported, you can finally like have the home and the kitchen, and maybe in a couple years you're going to build a home and it's going to be great and all these things. And I haven't acknowledged that when we changed plans and shit didn't go the way that we thought it would, how much I really am grieving that vision I had. And how my nervous system has been like, see, you don't deserve it. See, you can't have it. But I am changing. We are shifting into a new identity, right? So I can still have that. That is something that I'm having to constantly say to myself. I'm going to have those things. It's not if, it's when. And it's going to come to me in a way that's going to surprise me and delight me. And I'm recalibrating to realign and let what's actually important that I still do want come back into alignment with myself. So this is where we are. So I have no idea how long this episode was. Oh, the takes that I've done to get to the point that we're at right now, which is the end of the episode. So if anything I have said, oh my God, resonated with you, pinged something in your world, reminded you of something, stirred something up, please let me know in the comments below. I love hearing back from you guys. It means a lot. One of the biggest things that manifestors feel is if we're not being acknowledged or seen, we've no idea what the fuck is wrong with us, which is like really hard for anybody. Just a lot more heightened for us over here. If you're a manifestor, please let me know in the comments below so I can, send you some love. Or if you know your human design, just send it, drop it down. Let's converse. But also, just a quick reminder, Sunday sessions are happening. So if you're listening to this and you're curious about Sunday sessions, drop the word Sunday below. Check out this link in the description. Let's get you the link. So if you drop the comment, I will send you personally the link to sign up. And also, if you are looking for somebody, right? I'm working on this phrase, I'm safe to receive even in process, and I'm safe to be magnetic even in my process. But I do help women release their shit. Just because I'm going through my own shit doesn't mean that I can't help you. So if you're looking for someone to hold space for you to go deeper and let go of the emotions that we've stuffed down, this is the work that I do with my clients. And I am going through it right now for myself. So we're going through the process all together. Some of my biggest inspirations are still going through things, still unraveling, still creating that next level for themselves and letting go of what they no longer need to hold on to so that they can step into that version. That's what we do. So you can drop the word let go, and I'll send you a link to a free energy consult to see if we're a good fit, if you're ready to go deeper in the ways that I bring people through that process. And of course, everything is linked in the show notes. Everything is always linked in the show notes. I shouldn't have to say that, but it is, just in case you forget. And please, if you've enjoyed this episode, like, share, subscribe. On the 22nd, we've got an episode with Nicole Jones. She is a brain spotting coach and therapist, and I had a beautiful conversation with her. So I am going to be bringing some raw, non-teachy episodes again to you guys, and also some really fabulous guests in the very near future, starting with Nicole on the 22nd. So I will see you in that episode, and I'll see you around on the gram here and there, or I'll see you in a Sunday session. So love you all. Cheers. Peace out.
Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so grateful I get to do life and conversation like this together. If today landed for you, I would love to hear what your takeaways were. Hop over to Instagram and hit me up in the DMs, or leave a comment below. I love reading all of them. And if you haven't already done so, pay it forward by subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing this with someone that you love. These actions directly impact the show, and they help us reach a new audience, so I am very grateful in advance. And if you want to explore working together or dive deeper into this work, you can check out in the show notes all my current offers and ways to connect. Until next time, everybody, have a magical and fantastic day.